I'm sharing insights from Slovenian research and practice, which offers a valuable case study in how biometeorological knowledge is applied in real-world settings. Let's begin. One of the first applications of biometeorological research in Slovenia was in the area of traffic safety. Let me walk you through this fascinating study. We specifically looked at serious traffic accidents, not just minor ones, but incidents with involving injury or significant damage. What we found was quite compelling. Certain synoptic weather patterns, which refer to a large-scale atmospheric conditions, are closely correlated with an increase in serious road accidents. Interestingly, the number of serious accidents tend to rise before any visible weather changes occur. In other words, the atmosphere was already affecting driver cognition and behavior before the rain or wind arrived. Here's an example. Imagine you are driving on a regular morning. It's not raining yet, but a storm front is approaching. The air feels heavy. There's a subtle change in pressure and humidity. You may not consciously notice it, but physiologically your body is responding. Drivers may become more irritable, reactive, or distracted, and the likelihood of human error increases. We also discovered something unexpected. After a rainstorm, when weather cleared quickly, the accident rate can slightly increase. Why? Drivers are overconfident. They speed up, thinking the danger has passed. Now, during heat waves, we found that exhaustion plays a major role, even in air-conditioned vehicles. Long drives under high heat stress cause drivers to lose focus, underestimate risk, or experience microsleep episodes. What about minor accidents? They tend to happen more frequently during rain, snow, ice, and fog. However, these conditions also make drivers more cautious. They reduce their speed, which might actually reduce the severity of accidents, but not the number. We also worked with police officers and paramedics in Ljubljana and the surrounding suburbs. They observed the behavior of other drivers under various conditions. Here's what they noticed. In the city center, traffic is already so stressful that weather has little added impact on driver behavior. But in suburban areas, where driving is normally calmer, weather changes trigger more noticeable errors. Based on these findings, we have started issuing public warnings to drivers, not about road conditions, but about mental awareness. Watch for the behavior of other drivers today, because you might be fine, but others may not be. Let's now shift to the question, how does weather affect our minds and bodies in everyday life? We conducted a year-long study with 55 healthy working individuals. Each participant was asked to record how they felt physically and mentally and what they observed in their work environment. Here is what we found. The most frequently reported complaint was sleep disturbance. Nearly half of the participants reported headaches and difficulty concentrating, particularly on days with unstable or extreme weather. Colleagues were described as more distracted, more irritable, and in some cases, emotionally disengaged from tasks. Now think about that. These are not people with chronic illnesses or underlying conditions. They are healthy individuals being affected by weather. And we saw these effects not just in individuals, but across teams. The weather is not just something we experience with our skin or eyes. We experience it neurologically, hormonally, and behaviorally. To understand this better, we connected with medical professionals across Slovenia. Together with clinical experts, we looked at specific health conditions in their correlation with atmospheric changes. Migraines and headaches were linked to the southwest wind. In collaboration with a clinical center, we studied the relationship between cerebrovascular incidents and synoptic patterns. The risk appeared to rise sharply during certain weather shifts. In another case, patients with chronic lung diseases like asthma experienced worsened symptoms during exposure to the North Katabatic wind. What this shows is that climate-sensitive illnesses are real and predictable. With the right information systems, we can alert patients and physicians ahead of time, allowing for proactive care. Scientific knowledge is only as good as our ability to communicate it. At the Slovenian Environment Agency, we provide a variety of daily biometeorological information to the public. Well-being forecasts, pollen levels, UV index, air pollution data. We use social media platforms like Facebook, X, Instagram, as well as our official website and monthly bulletin. We have also partnered with TV stations, radio broadcasters, and health agencies to reach diverse audiences. For example, during heat waves, we issue heat waves warnings, advise hydration strategies, promote safe behavior for elderly and outdoor workers, include medical guidance from the National Institute for Public Health. This is where meteorology meets public service. We are not just describing the weather, we are helping people to live better in it. But of course, it is not all smooth sailing. Our major challenge is the translation of research into operational practice. Historically, much of our work was driven by personal interest and passion. Today, it requires sustainable funding, dedicated teams, and cross-sector cooperation. Another issue is accessibility. How do we make scientific knowledge available to all the end users? Also those who may not follow online platforms. We have learned that to be effective, biometeorology must be embedded into cross-sectoral cooperation. Public health infrastructure, emergency services, urban planning, tourism strategies, and even school education, but also much more. So what's next? We must build a professional network of biometeorologists, healthcare workers, and communicators. We need a forum for regular knowledge exchange where researchers and operational teams can collaborate in real time. And we must continue to bridge the gap between science and the everyday lives of citizens. In conclusion, biometeorology is not a niche. It's a science of living in harmony with the atmosphere. We cannot change the weather, but we can change how we understand it, how we prepare for it, and how we communicate about it. From safer roads to better sleep, from fewer migraines to more resilient communities. And the more we listen to weather, the better we can live. Thank you for your attention.